guys. Hello. Καλημέρα και καλή χρονιά. It's actually New Year's Day, 2024, and I am coming to you from Athens, Greece. Welcome to Not Being Greek, Season 2, Episode 1. We should start a new season. I haven't given you an update in a really long time, and I'm just out. I was going to say bright and early, but it's actually afternoon after a very fun New Year's Eve here in Athens. This is actually my second time in Greece this year. I was here for summer vacation, and I am back again for New Year's and for a little bit of time. So nothing too fancy here. I've been neglecting putting out updates because I haven't had any. But I guess this is as good a time as any to give you an update. And since I'm in Greece and I'm actually walking to meet my aunt, you may remember her from my very first video. She's the one that helped me with getting my papers. Να σε βγάλω για την ιστορία μου. Ευχαριστώ τόσο πολύ. My birth certificate delivered. And so I'm happy to be spending New Year's Day with my aunt, my uncle. I think there may be some other people there. And I decided to walk. It's only 10 kilometers. If you know me somewhat well, you know that I like walking, and especially when I'm in a different place. Not that Athens is very different for me because it is now kind of like home. So where are we? Well, you may be surprised to know that we are not Greek. Our citizenship has not come through, and I wanted to just give you an update. I honestly, I'll be really frank, I kind of thought about just taking down the videos and not even making any more updates, because it just seems like silly. I don't know. I decided it was a good idea way back, and now I feel kind of silly about it, but there are a few people that I've connected with who've messaged and written on the journey, and so I thought I would just I guess put out an update for those people, because there's been, you know, some people have been really kind and shared their frustrations, and so why not update people? So I'm doing this for you guys. So nothing from the consulate really. This lawyer that my brother has, nothing. It's kind of like it takes 6 months for this guy. I don't want to be mean or anything. I want to start the new year off on a good foot, but it takes. Ooh, it's a train. I love Greece. Maybe we'll let this train pass because it may be noisy. I'm walking through a part of town that I'm not really that familiar with, so I may have to pause to check the map a couple times. But yeah, here's a train coming by. It's all good. You'll have to excuse me a bit too if I ramble a bit or my thoughts are incoherent. It was New Year's Eve last night after all. Anyways, so this lawyer, I don't want to be mean like I said, but it just seems to take really long, and when they do reply, it's just really asking for the same things. Now, you know, this is my brother's thing, and he's using the lawyer for something else. So this is kind of just I can help with that, but it's not their top priority. So, yeah. Consulate, nothing. I have another cousin who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. There was somebody who had left a comment saying, "Oh, you Canadian, like trying to follow the book to get things done." Yeah, but I've also tried. Like I have tried with relatives here. I have an uncle that said he knew somebody and was going to help, and he had wanted me to leave all of my documents with him. This was last summer, not this summer that passed, but the summer before. And I kind of had a gut feeling. I was like, if I leave these, I may need them. And so I just left photocopies of them. I emailed photocopies of them, and I said, hey, if you can get somebody to help, that's great. And I can send you the originals if you need them. So I don't know, I followed up with my uncle maybe a year after that. And he said, oh yeah, he had given them to the person, but he hadn't heard back. So I don't know, I don't want to bother my uncle too. He's busy, he doesn't have time. I have another cousin who knows somebody with consulate ties that may be able to help. But again, nothing seems to move ahead with it. My same cousin told me, though, this is very interesting. My same cousin told me that if you call the Toronto consulate, at least, between 2 and 5, they actually answer the phone then. And I was like, really? So I guess, I don't know who called, and there's a message there that you have to listen to, and it says, call between 2 and 5. So my bad for not having done that before, but trying to listen to the full message, which probably I should have done from the get-go. But I did call, and I spoke to somebody super nice, who said, hey, I hear you, it takes time, and just asked me to send an email, which I did. This was back in December before Christmas. And I knew I was coming back to Greece, so I sent an email with everything again, explained where we were. I also said that I was going to be in Greece, so if there was anything that I could do while I was here, and they could let me know, that would be great. So please let me know. Did I hear back? Of course not. So that was maybe 3 weeks ago. So, yeah, and that's basically it. We've gotten nowhere, and it makes me really sad. I was reading something the other day, and it said that the population of Greece had declined, and I'm like, okay, you've got somebody who's trying, it's like, let me in and I'll get your population back up. I'm not walking through the most scenic place in Athens, so if you don't like the background, don't let that turn you off of it, because it's a really cool city. It's like my second home now. Some people might even wonder, why does this kid want to leave Toronto and you know, spend more time in Greece? Because I don't know if I'm saying that I want to live here forever. I mean, I really like it. I really love Greece. I love Athens too. It is a city that you kind of have to understand a little, I think, to really appreciate and love. Some of you may wonder, like, why do I even care about this citizenship that much? You know, it's there's a few reasons for it. When I was growing up, I wanted nothing to do with being Greek. I just wanted to be a regular kid, like my friends at school. I remember my parents sent me to Greek school, where we lived in the Toronto suburbs. We had like a Greek community and Greek school. And so they sent me, I went to grade 5. And there was also grade 6, and then there was a credit course for high school. And hang on, I gotta see where I am here. All right, so I'm back. I'm still on the right path. So we had a Greek community, there was a Greek school. I went up to grade 5, there was grade 6, and there was a credit course for high school. And after grade 5, I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this. I remember fighting with my poor father, just saying, what do I need this for? Like, I'm Canadian, not going to live in Greece. I can communicate well enough to talk. Is just waste of my time. There are other more important things that I could be doing. And he was so upset. And, you know, there are things in life that you wish you could do over, and that's really one of the things that I wish I could do over, is just keep doing it, because it may have helped me. I think really the reality is I had learned everything that I was going to learn, but I upset my father so much, and it still breaks my heart to this day to think about it. And so I stopped. I was like, I'm done. And my dad would do anything for me. And so he was like, okay, whatever. He also got very mad at me when I stopped French in grade 11, but that's a different story. Oh, my poor dad. there is a life after death, as I reflect on this New Year's Eve, on this long walk to my aunt's place, I wish I had listened to everything my father had said to me, because everything he told me to do that I didn't, I now regret in life. So, anyways, so I really didn't want anything to do with being Greek, and I never came. I always thought I'd come one day, but it was just this one day thing. When I finished university, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with work, life, and somehow popped into my head, I'm just going to go to Greece. I'm going to come to Athens and see what it's like for a few months. And I remember running around the university trying to get, it was kind of after school was done and I was still in town getting ready to move back home. And you needed some kind of a supporter or a reference for your passport. So I was running around the school kind of looking for somebody that would know me. And I found my first year politics professor. And I was like, hey, can you fill this out? He's like, yeah, of course. Where are you going? What are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to go to Athens and just see what it's like and stay there and be Greek for a while. And he's like, that's a really great idea. I didn't end up doing that. I got a job pretty quickly and settled into it. And then it just kind of fell into the background and it didn't come up again. And it didn't come up until 2019. And in 2019, my best friend, the one that I'm traveling with now, said, let's go away. Let's go to Europe. And I was like, cool. And my thing was, I always wanted to go to Paris. I was a little kid. Excuse me. I was a little kid, and we were picking up somebody at the airport, an aunt and uncle. I can't remember who, to be honest with you. Very young I was, but I still remember this. I remember looking up at the board with the arrivals and departures, and it said Paris. And I just thought to myself, I want to go to Paris. And then I thought, oh, you can't go. Because at that point in life, the only vacations that we had taken were to visit people that we knew. And so we'd visit cousins or aunts and uncles and, in America. And I figured I'd go to Greece one day and visit family there. But I was like, you know what? This is my young little mind. It's like, you know what? I don't care if we don't have anybody there. I'm going there. And so it just kind of sat in the back of my head too. So when my best friend and I were thinking about this trip, we planned it so that we could go to Paris first and then go to Greece. And I was more excited about going to Paris than I was about going to Greece, to be honest with you. Even though we were only there for a day, I was like, this is so exciting. And I remember Paris was great, loved it. Great experience. If you've never been, you should go. But then I got to Greece, and I remember kind of just getting into Athens and just being kind of like, I'm not sure about this place. It had a very different feel than I expected. And I toured around a little bit on that first vacation. Obviously, I've been here many, many times since. It's very hard for me to travel to other places now because I just love it here so much. And there's so much of the world that I want to see. And I'm fortunate to have seen some of it. But I always just am like, I just want to go back there. I just want to be here all the time. I just love it so much. And so my first time in Athens was great. But I wasn't sure about it. The other parts of Greece that I visited, I was in Santorini, I was in Paros, I was in Kalamata, I've been to Nafplio, the other parts of Greece are just, more of what you expect if you've never been here before. Athens is just such a complex, messy, disorganized, wonderful place. And, you walk and you just find all these secret places and these just wonderful, restaurants, bars, places, things like it's just like an adventure. And if you give Athens, there was a YouTube that I saw, and one of the lines that stuck with me from it, I'll link it here, was, if you give Athens the time, it will give you the rewards. And I don't think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people just kind of transit in, transit out on the way to other things in Greece. And they just sort of see some of the main sites and that's it. But it's such a wonderful, crazy place. So Athens has really become my second home. I look forward to visiting it maybe more than any other part of Greece, to be honest with you. Toronto's an interesting town. There's a lot of opportunity there, but Toronto's really changed as well. In the past few years, it's become more, quote unquote, world class. But with that have come all of the problems of being world class. And it was such a wonderful city, good, safe place, and a good space to grow, learn, develop, be exposed to other people because it's such a melting pot of the world. Has a really good reputation in the world, I think. Sometimes I'll talk to people in Greece and they're like, oh my God, Toronto always is on top in terms of places to live. And you know what? I don't want to take Toronto for granted, but it has changed. And really, my love with Athens and Greece has nothing to do with wanting to leave Toronto. It's just, I just love it here. I don't know. My astrology, if you believe in astrology, and if you don't, that's cool. But there's, the whole world, the whole universe is governed by mathematics and relationships. And so I do believe in astrology, not the fake stuff that you read in the newspaper, like the little, those little snippets, but I'm talking like real. And one of the things that mine says is that in Greece and in Athens, I'm just brighter, like I shine brighter. Sounds kind of cheesy, but it does say that. And I kind of feel that, like I just feel that. I'll give you an example. So last night, had dinner at a really nice place, and the maitre d' and I talked a bit, sort of before we got to dinner and during and after, and he just said, "Yeah, just have such a great energy, like, and then he said, you should live here." And I was like, oh my God, man, let me tell you the story. I'd like to at some point, at least. He goes, even 6 months of the year and 6 months back. And I would like to. I'd love to do that. Have the best of both worlds. I'm like, but I can't. And I kind of explained in a very succinct way our journey to try to get our citizenship and stuff. And he's like, he's like, make it happen. He's like, it's going to happen. And I believe that it will happen. It's taking a long time. One thing I do think of though is, you'll have kids that are trying to be in the NFL or the NHL, hockey, football. And, the other thing that I do think of is there are some people that keep trying and trying and trying and just don't get anywhere. Like maybe it's just not meant to be. And that's kind of where I've been. And that's why I haven't put out an update. Anybody can want to be a hockey player, a football player, but not everybody has the talent. It's not everybody's path. So part of the reason I haven't put out any updates is I kind of thought, hey, maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe me trying to do this is not in the cards. Maybe it's something that I'd like, but maybe the universe has something else in store for me, or I don't know. But that conversation last night with that maitre d' at that restaurant really meant a lot because it just got me back on the path in terms of thinking, you know what, this is my right. I deserve this. I want it. And nothing's going to hold me back. And I won't stop until I get it. At this point, that's what it's about. I don't know what the citizenship will do. I just know that I want it because I'm so proud to be Greek. I'm so happy to be in my country. At the stroke of New Year's last night, I just remember looking at the fireworks and the Acropolis and just thinking to myself, I love my country. And I do love Canada as well, but I love Greece. There's a very special place in my heart for Greece. And so those are my thoughts this New Year's Day. I hope that you all have the best New Year. And to all of those people that have kept in touch or messaged now and then, I say Happy New Year to you. And I hope Kali Chronia I hope you have the best 2024 as well. So I'll put out more updates. We are going to be Greek soon. Take care. Bye, everybody.